Hi and welcome to this Astrology Weekly, the week report for week number 10. We're going to watch at the events around March the 3rd until March 9th. So I'm going to share my screen with you. And there we go. All right, there we have it. Now, we still have this stellium going on in Pisces, and this will remain a stellium for quite a while. And so I will repeat some part of the information about this stellium throughout the year. But today I would like to talk about Mercury, because Mercury in the beginning of the week is in the last degree of Pisces. The last degree of a sign is often called a critical degree because the energy of the planet is very intense at that moment. And when Mercury is intense in the sign of Pisces, the theme about communication has got to do with reality and reality check, because Mercury, as the planet of communication, is also about how do we perceive our reality. And we know that Pisces is a dreamy sign, a mystical sign. It has the ability to reach oneness, unity, which is, of course, very beautiful when a planet of communication is in the sign of oneness. However, there's always a chance that we may forget about our boundaries. Now, when we look at this stellium, we can see that the sun is all about our identity, and Saturn is also in Pisces. Saturn is a planet that shows our need for boundaries. And in the sign of Pisces, of course, the boundaries may be very flexible. Now, what does that got to do with communication? It has got to do with how we create our identity and how we express our identity. So, when Mercury is in a critical degree, it could be that there are some issues around communication and probably about being misunderstood, because there's always this risk with misunderstandings, or maybe some parts of the truth that may be hidden or not known yet. So Mercury in the last degree of Pisces has this strong need to find the truth and to communicate the truth, but it may be difficult to do that. Or there may be some issues around um, if people would believe you or not. So I would like to call the theme of this week Truth or Dare, because we are being challenged to find out what is true or not and what is an illusion or not. And later on this week, we will see that Mercury will move into the sign of Aries. And this is a very different energy. And as we mentioned before, when a planet moves into a new sign, the energy becomes very powerful. So communicating with the fire energy of Aries can be straight, can be direct, can be really open, spontaneous, and especially being very confronting in speaking our truth. So, of course, it takes courage to do that. And this week may show that theme that we need to look our fears into the eye and don't escape any conflicts, but just speak your truth and stand strong. So, truth or dare. And of course, the literal meaning of truth or dare is a bit different, but I think it's quite appropriate for this week's theme. Now, another thing that's related to Mercury moving from Pisces to Aries is got to do with um, is something a myth or is it a fact? And of course, information coming through in Pisces is always energetically and can transcend many levels of reality. So, if you're looking for facts, then Mercury in Aries will be a much easier sign to communicate. So, let's look at the next screen. What else do we have this week? Um, Well, we also have the moon, of course, entering a conjunction with Uranus on March 5. Now, the moon, of course, is a very quick moving object in the chart. So, but I do find that it is relevant to look at the moon in these weekly astrology journals. So, when the moon is in conjunction with Uranus, people may feel that they're kind of well, inspired by new things and very original, but also there's something unpredictable about the moon in conjunction with Uranus, having strong emotions that you would like to keep in, and then bang, suddenly it comes out. So, moon conjunct Uranus can be a little bit electrical. And what else do we have? We have, well, this is actually a transit that has been happening for a while, actually since October 2023, when Sedna moved into Gemini. Now, Sedna is a dwarf planet, and it is related to the indigenous story about the Inuit girl, or Inuit goddess, maybe we should say, that was rejected by her father, and who also rejected her husband. So the theme of Sedna has got to do with rejection, but also betrayal, because Sedna felt betrayed by her father, and but she turned that sense of betrayal into something powerful, because the moment when her father set her overboard, and when she was at the risk of drowning, and he cut off her fingers. Well, I know it's not a nice story about Setna and all these fingers, but what happened is that Setna turned her fingers into a life, into the creatures of the sea. So they turned into whales and dolphins and seagulls. Well, any kind of animal that is related to the sea. And one of the themes that is related to the mythical story of Sedna is about finding your tribe, finding the people who are your soul family. Now, when Sedna entered Gemini in October 2023, there was this whole movement coming up around artificial intelligence. And I know that Ellen Clay, an Australian astrologer, believes that Sedna is related to um, artificial intelligence. So, and I'm not sure if I would see it like that, but I do feel that it's worth mentioning it, because I do know that Sedna is about uh, information, and finding information that is close to our heart. And when Sedna was in Taurus, a lot of information was coming up to the surface around environmental issues. Sorry, and so when Sedna moved into Gemini, there was this whole theme about finding the truth around communication systems. And so I think that Sedna will play a role in how we communicate, but I don't think it's only AI. It is about other aspects of communication as well. So, why is this important in this week? I feel that it is relevant because the moon will pass Sedna as well. And then the moon will move on to Jupiter. Jupiter in Gemini is also about um, expressing your ideas, expressing your higher values in life. But there's also an element of hope and optimism in Jupiter in Gemini. Now, another aspect that we have running this week is that the moon will be in a conjunction with Eris, and Eris is in the sign of Aries. Now, Eris, the dwarf planet, is about well, discord actually, and but also Aries reflects the sense of finding out what is real or not, and to well, to step forward for justice, for the truth. So we have this whole theme about finding the truth, speaking the truth, and having this reality check with Mercury in Neptune or in Pisces. So a lot happening this week. And let me see if I have forgotten anything to mention. I think I mentioned the escapism, didn't I? And facing your fears. Yes, I think I mentioned everything that's important for this week. Okay, so I want to thank you for watching this video. And please check out the website quantumhealers.com. If you would like to become a quantum healer, check out the courses that Candice Goldman has created and which are available through the website quantumhealers.com. And of course, feel free to visit my website as well if you would like to know more about my courses or my books. You can find it on patriciagrootjans.com. Thank you so much and see you next week.